I chased after the shooter and got a photo of him.
Inspector Navet will be delighted.
You've got to let me into the gallery to show him.
Absolutely not.
So, I cannot go in without Inspector Navet's permission?
No.
And to get Inspector Navet's permission, I need to go in.
Exactement.
Have you ever heard of Kafka, Sergeant Moore?
Madame Collard, I do not see what soccer players have to do with this.
No, he's a... Never mind. Here's my press card. Do you have a statement for the paper?
Yes, madame. Stay away from the crime scene and let the police do their job. And always leave a light on when you go out at night.
Thanks a lot, Sergeant. Bonjour, monsieur.
Whatever it is you want, we are closed.
Then why are you standing here?
You would not understand, madame.
Try me.
Because I look at you, and I know you are like all the others.
The others?
The pretty women who shop, who gossip, who have their spa days, their almond croissant.
That bad, huh?
And the men with their grooming products and their shiny shoes and their skinny suits who come to my cafe and ask me for lattes, macchiatos, frappes.
I see your point.
Is this what we fought on the barricades for, madame? Ripped up the paving slabs, bled on the streets.
Isn't it?
No, madame, it is not. We fought for ideas, for philosophy, for freedom, equality, fraternity.
Vive la révolution.
And do you know what drove us on as we fought? What fueled the streets of Paris in that glorious spring? What made our hearts soar?
Cheap wine and free sex?
No, madame, no! It was French Café Noir that inspired us. The simple delitas. The black, sweet taste of freedom.
So that's why you closed?
Yes, madame. I serve only thinkers, philosophers, revolutionaries. And you, madame, with your polite top and your pointy ears, are none of those things.
This is a cafe.
Yes, to the right people.
On any other day, I would have given this guy a straight onto the chin. But there was a chance he could help me get into the gallery. Monsieur.
Life is fleeting, madame. The sands of time are running through your fingers.
Well, that may be, but...
We know not what we want, and yet we are responsible for what we are.
There's been a crime.
That is terrible, madame. But you know what they say.
No, but I think you're going to tell me.
Life begins on the other side of despair. C'est vrai, no?
Well, I guess so. He was pushing me to the point of despair.
During the riots, we battled the forces of oppression.
Oh, really? That must have been terrifying.
It was, except that they made me stay behind the barricades with the other baristas. We made coffee by the liter to fuel the resistance. I've never brewed so much coffee. Of course, our brave heroes spent half their time going for a pee. But with our coffee inside them, they fought the running dogs all night long.
None of this was helping me get past Sergeant Moore.
Au revoir.
The menu offered black coffee and a small selection of other drinks. Monsieur.
The road to enlightenment. Au revoir.
forgot. I gotta show this guy the card.
Here's my press card.
La Liberté. Madame, you are not the person that I took you to be. You must accept my deepest, my most profound apologies.
Well, of course I accept. But why?
La Liberté.
The great journal of freedom. At the height of the battle, as the tear gas blew and the blood flowed, it was La Liberté which carried the voice of our revolution to the world. I know now that you are not the kind of woman who would ask me for almond croissant. You are a true daughter of France, and I am your humble servant.
Monsieur,
Madame?
could we have a little chat?
Anytime, madame.
Did you see anything happen at the gallery earlier?
I saw you running after a pizza delivery guy. Somebody said he killed someone.
That's true. He stole a painting and shot the gallery owner.
How close we are to death. And yet how far from ever comprehending it.
Well, right now I need to get back inside and figure out what happened.
I applaud you, madame. To seek the truth is a worthy ambition.
As a journalist, that is my duty. How about some coffee?
For you, madame, of course. There is only one coffee that I can serve you. Black, strong, and in a tiny cup. One moment. Here is your coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. The coffee was hot and strong. Salut.
Bonjour, madame.
I remembered something else about the crime.
Then you should tell Inspector Navet immediately.
So I can go inside then?
No.
Do you want to see my photo of the thief?
Ils ne passeront pas.
I really need to get into the gallery and speak to Inspector Navet.
Tut. He is not to be disturbed. He is applying his famous scientific methods. Any moment now, the case will be cracked. I certainly hope so. I am dog-tired and want to go home.
This was madness. Sergeant Moore wasn't going to let me in. Why are you so tired, Sergeant Moore?
I have been working for 3 days with no rest. Navet is a genius in his field, and he assumes that we all have his energy and vigor.
Oh, you poor man. If you'd like to go and get some sleep, I will watch the door for you.
That's very thoughtful of you. Ha! A cunning attempt to make me a deserter, madame. A gendarme never leaves his post.
Well, how about a hot drink?
Ah, that would do the trick for sure. Unfortunately, I mustn't drink on duty. My doctor specifically warned me against it after the last incident.
That incident you mentioned, what happened exactly?
I don't want to talk about it. All I can say is it was very unfortunate. I am on duty, and I need to focus.
Sergeant Moo could do with one of those famous coffees. Thanks. Monsieur,
Madame?
could we have a little chat?
Anytime, madame.
Would you make me a coffee to go?
For a fellow revolutionary? Of course, madame. One moment. Here's your takeaway coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. Salut,
Bonjour, madame.
Sergeant Moore. I brought you a coffee.
Coffee? Fantastic. Just what I need. But wait. I must not. My little problem.
I'm sure one little cup of coffee won't hurt.
I'm tempted, madame, but I cannot risk it. I am sorry.
So, this incident, it involved you, some coffee, and your little problem?
It is a tale of woe, madame.
I'm all ears, Sergeant.
Well, since you seem quite understanding, I shall elaborate.
Please do.
I was in charge of canine security for the president himself. One day, en vacances, he went for a private discussion with a lady minister. I stayed alone with his dog, but I had drunk a coffee to stay awake, and nature came to call. So I tied the dog to a tree and went for a secret pee-pee. When I came back, the dog was having a liaison dangereuse with the lady minister's terrier.
But how did they find out?
Well, 2 months later, the president's Labrador gave birth to 6 beautiful mongrels. And I was busted to sergeant just after the president's divorce came through.
You are a victim of a great injustice, Sergeant.
You think so?
But of course, you knew you must not fall asleep at your post. You were guarding the president himself.
Well, the president's dog.
Ah, it was the same thing.
Yes, I suppose.
And by drinking that coffee, you made the ultimate sacrifice for our glorious republic, your career.
Now you put it like that?
And now France is calling you again. She is saying, "Drink, Sergeant Moore, drink!"
She is?
She is. Drink or fall asleep at your post. Which is it to be?
I suppose it is drink?
Bravo, Sergeant!
All that just to get him to drink some damn coffee.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Excuse me, madame. I must use the petit gendarme's room. It has gone straight through me. Could you watch the gallery door for me?
Oh, you can count on me, Sergeant. I distracted Moo. It was now or never.
How did you get past Sergeant Moo? Well, you won't fool me so easily, madame. I shall question you later.
Nico, am I glad to see you.
I managed to grab a couple of photos, but the guy got away.
Poor Henri is dead.
I know. Why kill him?
I've been trying to find out. Turns out the alarm was tampered with. It looks to me like an inside job.
So, no ordinary robbery?
And no ordinary painting. The priest claims that La Maledizio is evil. I need to get into the office and see what the CCTV has to offer.
So, what's the problem?
The inspector's watching me like a hawk. I'll never get in without some sort of distraction.
I'll see what I can do. Are you Hector Lane, the art critic?
Enchanté, madame. And which of the angels are you?
I'm Nico Collar, a reporter.
Ah, a fallen angel then. My favorite sort.
Have you spoken to Georges?
The American?
Yes.
He promised to clear up any misunderstandings the police might have about my presence here.
What can you tell me about the theft?
Oh, it was truly awful. What do you want to know?
Tell me about the shooting, monsieur.
It all happened so fast.
Take your time. What did you see?
I can't be sure. Perhaps I could answer your questions over dinner.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I'm on a tight deadline. Did you see the thief?
I would have tackled him, but he was too quick for me.
Did you know that the alarm had been sabotaged?
No. How dreadful. I suppose that's why the alarm isn't ringing.
What can you tell me about Henri's involvement with the gallery?
Dear Henri, a shining diamond in the ordure that is the modern art business. He owned the gallery. What will we do without him?
What can you tell me about the painting that was taken?
It was called La Malediccio, an unknown work that only recently surfaced.
Who was the artist?
A mysterious figure known only as El Serp. Some say he was a student of Picasso. He was good, but not great, and his true identity remains unknown.
Here's my press card.
And there was I thinking you were too young and beautiful to be a reporter.
Thanks for your help, Monsieur Lane. I wasn't going to get anything useful from Lane. The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. No way was I going to clean that up with my bare hands. Inspector Navet, do you have a moment?
My time is of the essence. Be quick now.
Have you seen that stain on the floor by the door? What do you think it is?
I don't have time to waste discussing domestic hygiene. Please, leave me to my work.
Could you give me a statement, Inspector?
Now is not the time, madame.
I suppose this is quite a complex case, Inspector.
It is a robbery gone bad. Nothing more, nothing less.
Surely there's a bit more to it than that.
Please abstain from baseless conjecture, madame. The victim's body paints a simple picture, more reliable than any witness statement. Consider the impact of the bullet, and note the concomitant lack of blood. A casual homicide, nothing more.
Don't you find it odd that the thief chose that one particular painting?
Life is full of odd things, madame. Fingerless gloves, white dog poo-poo, nasal hair. I prefer to concern myself with murder.
Did you see the alarm was sabotaged?
I have interrogated the crime scene, madame. I am fully aware of the disabled security. I prefer biological evidence to the merely circumstantial. Body parts, blood, important things.
Don't you think the disabled alarm is highly suspicious, though?
The forensic team will be along shortly. Voice your concerns to them. Do not bother me with this circumstantial fliff-flaff.
Why don't you check out the security camera footage?
Madame, that is not my area of expertise. It is the body which concerns me.
But the CCTV footage is evidence. It could help identify the killer.
Correction, madame. It is but an indicator. The only true evidence is bodily fluid. Unless you know something I don't, then please leave me be.
The only evidence Inspector Nave seemed to appreciate involved gore. What do you think about the American, Georges?
He is deeply suspicious.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything else. If I was going to distract Nave, I needed to unearth new evidence or concoct some. And the bloodier, the better. No way was... I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the inspector wouldn't notice. How about that for a distraction? I wondered whether it would be enough. Inspector!
Yes?
Have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in it. Interesting. Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Okay, Georges. That should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office. I was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick, because it wouldn't take him long.
At last, Stobart.
Sorry, Mr. Rickenbacker. I've been busy.
Yeah, I damn well hope so. I'm watching the news.
Oh, anything interesting?
Yeah, someone stole a painting.
Oh, really?
And it was one you insured. What's going on?
Ah, yes. Well, the guy was armed, sir.
So?
You think I should have thrown myself in front of the thief, wrestled him to the ground, got myself shot?
Sure would have made me feel better. Anyway, find that painting, or give me a good reason not to pay out. Please tell me that you have some leads.
I'm working on it. I didn't like the idea of a pocket full of sharp pins. I didn't want to carry the tape around. I had a feeling I wasn't going to need it. The switch controlled the small desk lamp. I didn't feel the need to take Henri's eraser. Carrying an ink pot around inside my pocket would have been stupid. The lighter was corroded and grimy. It'd probably never work again. I decided to leave it. The pen could have been useful. Then again, it might have leaked all over my pocket. I didn't need a business card. It was the paper that Nico wrote for. Nico lived for the day her story would be on the front cover. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence. It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera Security. They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit. Huh. I'd never heard of Vera Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form. The statue was jaunty, up close and personal. I could see that the fig leaf was hinged. A naked lady stared at me seductively.
Oh, lips.
The sofa had clearly taken some punishment over the years. It was a battered sofa. Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds of junk. Henri had a model of a VW camper van painted in hippie colors. The engine capacity was displayed on the back, 1600 cc. Henri sure liked this clutter. It was a pretty flamboyant looking clock. The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording.
I believe I don't have that. That's good.
The completion note from Vera Security. There was an address. I needed to find a 4-digit number. The poster advertised the 1975 Stockholm Music Festival. Head
Let's try something else.
I needed to find. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster.
That calendar.
The calendar looked like a child's school project. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day. Bingo. I rewound the tape to before the robbery.
That was his birthday, 0527.
This was the first interesting frame. It was
05
Henri
for
studying La
May,
Malediccio.
and then the 27.
He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen. Nico and I were taking a look at La Malediccio just before the robbery. Funny, painting didn't strike me as remarkable at the time, just odd. A good view of La Malediccio. I could kind of see why Father Simeon thought it was evil. There was a certain presence about it. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely something unsettling about the picture.